Hi, so I recently read an article on racism within the LGBT community, and I was shocked and felt appalled when I read it because I truly didn't know it existed within the LGBT community. I truly didn't know it existed within the LGBT community. I had never heard of it before. So I confession of the day, I didn't know there was such a thing as racism within the LGBT community. Yes, I've been insulted because of the fact that I'm gay, and I've experienced racism because I'm black, but that always came from outside the LGBT community, never from within the LGBT community. So I guess that's why I didn't know it existed. So how can we, within the LGBT community, stop stereotyping against each other? For instance, not all male Asian Americans are passive or overly feminine. And I'm black, and I'm not aggressive, and I'm not overly masculine either. So how can we stop stereotyping against each other? And how can we make sure trans women of color aren't murdered for merely existing? And how can we stop ourselves from using racial slurs against each other? Well, hear me out. Because if you've been discriminated against for being bisexual or a lesbian or gay or transgender, then I want to bring you back, take you back to that day or those days when that happened. And I want to do that so that you can experience how that felt. Do you remember the feeling you had when people insulted you for being gay or lesbian or transgender or bisexual? How did that make you feel? Did it make you feel sad? Angry because injustice had been done to you? Did you feel that it was unfair? Did you become sad? Did it make you sad that people had insulted you for something that you couldn't do anything about? That feeling. Go back to that day or those days when people were mean to you because of what you are. So, would you really want to pass on that feeling you had on that day or on those days when you were a victim of racism? Ask yourself that. If the answer to that question is no, then it basically comes down to something I taught my stepkids when they were little. I taught them that they had to treat others as they themselves wanted to be treated. So ask yourselves that. Would you really want to give somebody a bad day? Would you really want to ruin somebody's day? Would you really want to hurt somebody? Would you really want to make somebody sad? And I think your answer is no. So don't do it. Treat others as you yourself want to be treated. And although it's a very simple piece of advice, I think it's really useful. I think it's really helpful. And I think it can make the lives of LGBT people a lot more pleasant, because then we as a community can stand together as one strong group without attacking each other. I find that really important. So that's all for now. Bye!